Hello everyone! In this video we're going to be talking about the three basic parts of the trombone, how to put them all together, and how to hold it once it's put together. To start with, we have the biggest piece. This is called the bell, and you can remember that because it's kind of shaped like a bell. Now it has one little hole here as well as a screw, and this is where the bell attaches to the slide. Speaking of, we're going to the slide next. Whenever you're handling it, make sure to hold it from the bottom. The bottom will be where these two bars are, whereas the top will be where this U is. Now, one thing you want to notice really quick, there's this rotating piece of metal right here, as well as a horizontal piece of metal right here. When these two are overlapping, one on top of the other, you'll notice this doesn't move at all. When you make them go apart, you can move this back and forth. So that's called locking and unlocking your trombone. It's really important to keep it locked when you're carrying it, when it's in your case, or whenever you're not playing, basically. Because if you leave it unlocked by accident, you're carrying it around, the slide could fall out onto the ground and you could hurt your instrument. You would unlock it when you're playing though, because you need to slide it back and forth. Now the other part of the slide that you want to pay attention to is these two little holes, pieces of pipe. The longer one is where the bell and the slide attach to each other, and the shorter one is where the mouthpiece goes. We'll get to that very shortly. The final piece of the trombone before we move on is the mouthpiece. This is where your mouth goes. The bigger part is where it goes, and the smaller part is where it attaches to the slide. And this is where all your noise comes from. Now, to put this together, we're going to take our slide from the bottom with our right hand. We're going to have this facing to our left and this facing to our right. We're going to take the bell now, have it upside down. Be very careful about this. We're going to put the hole in the piece of pipe gently. Once it's down, you can turn the screw and tighten it. Now, we want to make sure that our slide is positioned correctly. So, if this top piece of the slide is 2 fingers apart from the bell, you'll know it's right. So, to fix this, we're going to unscrew it a little bit, rotate it, check, bring it a little closer if it's too far. If it gets too tight, you can loosen it. Check again. If it doesn't work, try again. Finally, if it's right, you should have 2 fingers between this and have it feel just about right. So if you can't fit 2 fingers in here, it's probably too close. If you have a lot of space, it's too far. Finally, the last part, while you're holding this with your left hand, you want to put the mouthpiece on this other piece of pipe. You're going to put this in gently and twist. You're not going to bop it in. That'll probably get it stuck, and you don't want that. Now, the final piece of this is how to hold it. To begin with, you're going to take your left hand and make an L, like this. On this piece of metal on the bell, coming from your left, you're going to put your thumb in here. And following the guide of this top piece of metal, you're going to put your pointer finger, resting right near the mouthpiece. Your last 3 fingers will wrap themselves around the same piece of metal. Finally, the last part is easy. You're going to make a little claw with your fingers, with your first 2 fingers and your thumb. It's like you're a crab. You're going to take the middle of the slide piece right here and just put them across from each other. And from there, you can unlock your slide and go back and forth.